Alright, here we go. Let's do problem number 12. Problem number 12, we're given the function y is equal to 1 plus 1 over x squared. And they ask us to identify the domain and range and sketch the graph of the function. And so if you graph that, what does that look like with your graph? Let me borrow somebody's calculator. So if I graph this and I look at the, if I go in here, I'm going to do 1 plus 1 divided by x squared, like that, right? Then I'm going to graph it. Okay, so now we're asked to state what the domain is, all right? And the range. So first let's sketch the graph. It says sketch the graph, and it looks like it comes up like this and goes like that. And this is the x and this is the y. Now, what is the domain? Well, the domain are all the possible x values that I can have, right? So what is the lowest possible x value I could approach? Well, it doesn't look like it stops, so it looks like I could go to negative infinity, and we put a parenthesis there because we can't ever really reach negative infinity. Comma, how far do you think I can go to the right?
0.
Yeah, can I include 0? No, because when I plug 0 in here, it becomes undefined and it's not pretty. All right, so then this becomes 0 in union with, if you go to the right hand side, it looks like the same thing. You can go from 0 to positive infinity. All right, so now the range. Now the range is a little trickier. How low do you think you can go on the range? 1. And now the reason for that is, if I plug in, this will never equal 0. But if I plug in a really, really big number, think of a piece of pizza. If I cut the pizza into 4 slices, how big is the slice?
Pretty big.
Pretty big. If I cut it into 10 slices, what happens to the slice?
It's small.
If I cut it into an infinite number of slices, how big is the slice? It's 0. So as we approach infinity, whether it's negative infinity or positive infinity, this right here approaches 0. So what's 1 plus 0? 1. So the absolute lowest this value could be is 1. Now, are we ever going to get a negative term here? No, because the x is squared. So when I plug in a negative number, it gets squared, so it becomes a positive. So the lowest value I can get is 1. Okay? And that goes all the way up to infinity on both sides. Now the question is, do I include the 1 or not include the 1? Not include it, because we can't plug in a number. It'll get right up to 1, but I can't really make this equal 0. Okay, good. Any other questions?